The quiet confusion of modern life. There is a strange confusion many men carry today, even if they never say it out loud. From the outside, life looks fine. Work is manageable. Responsibilities are being handled. Days pass without chaos. And yet, internally, something feels off. A sense of drifting. A lack of direction. An unspoken question that keeps returning. Is this really it? This confusion doesn't arrive suddenly. It builds quietly over years. And this story begins with a man who did everything society told him to do, yet felt increasingly disconnected from himself. Doing everything right, feeling nothing. Aaron followed the path laid out for him. He studied. He worked. He stayed out of trouble. He was reliable. Predictable. Responsible. People trusted him. But when he was alone, especially late at night, a heavy stillness settled in. He wasn't unhappy. He wasn't depressed. He was uninspired. Life felt like something he was maintaining rather than living. And that emptiness confused him, because he couldn't explain it to anyone. The hidden cost of comfort. Aaron's life was comfortable. And comfort slowly dulled his sense of urgency. There was no crisis forcing growth. No external pressure demanding change. Comfort can be dangerous in this way. It doesn't hurt, but it numbs. Days blend together. Weeks pass unnoticed. Years slip quietly by. And slowly, a man forgets what he once cared about. The moment that exposed the truth. One evening, Aaron met an old friend he hadn't seen in years. They talked about work, life, routines. Then his friend said something simple. I feel aligned these days. Life feels heavy sometimes, but meaningful. That sentence lingered. Because Aaron realized something unsettling. His life wasn't heavy. It was hollow. And meaning, not happiness, was what he was missing. The difference between busy and purposeful. Aaron was busy. But he wasn't purposeful. There is a difference. Busy lives are filled with activity. Purposeful lives are filled with direction. Activity distracts. Direction anchors. Aaron filled his time with distractions. Endless scrolling. Background noise. Casual entertainment. None of it satisfied him. Because meaning cannot be consumed. It must be built. Why modern men feel disconnected. Aaron's experience wasn't unique. Modern life offers comfort without challenge. Structure without significance. Men are taught to avoid discomfort, but discomfort is often where clarity lives. Without struggle, there is no sharpening. Without resistance, no growth. And without growth, confidence erodes. The identity crisis no one talks about. Aaron realized he no longer knew who he was outside of his roles. Employee. Friend. Son. But who was he when no one needed anything from him? That question felt uncomfortable. So he had avoided it. But avoidance had a cost. Because identity doesn't disappear, it weakens. And weakened identity creates anxiety, hesitation, and indecision. The first step toward direction. Aaron didn't make dramatic changes. He did something smaller, but more honest. He asked himself, what do I respect? Not what he enjoyed. Not what felt good. What he genuinely respected. Discipline. Consistency. Integrity. Self-control. He noticed that the men he admired weren't louder or flashier. They were stable. And stability, he realized, is built, not inherited. Reintroducing difficulty. Aaron began choosing discomfort intentionally. Not recklessly, but deliberately. Waking up earlier. Training when he didn't feel like it. Reducing distractions. These choices weren't exciting. But they did something profound. They rebuilt self-trust. Every kept promise strengthened his internal foundation. And slowly, confidence returned, not as arrogance, but as calm certainty. Why confidence grows in silence. No one noticed Aaron's changes immediately. And that was important. Because confidence grows best when it's not being observed. When effort isn't performed. When growth is private. Public validation can interrupt the process. Silence allows identity to stabilize. The return of internal strength. As weeks passed, something shifted. Aaron spoke more clearly. Listened more deeply. Reacted less emotionally. Not because he was trying, but because he was grounded. People sensed it. Conversations changed tone. Respect increased. Not because Aaron demanded it, but because he embodied self-respect. The role of responsibility. Aaron learned that responsibility is not a burden. It is an anchor. When a man carries responsibility willingly, his life gains weight, and weight creates meaning. Avoiding responsibility creates freedom in the short term, but emptiness in the long term. Meaning is heavy. And that weight stabilizes the mind. Relationships change when identity strengthens. As Aaron's sense of self grew stronger, his relationships shifted. Some connections faded. Others deepened. He stopped tolerating dynamics that drained him. He no longer sought approval. He sought alignment. This clarity didn't isolate him. It refined his environment. Why many men stay stuck? Most men are not lazy. They are disoriented. They are overstimulated. Over-entertained. Under-challenged. Without challenge, the nervous system never calibrates strength. And without strength, confidence remains fragile. The quiet power of consistency. Aaron discovered that confidence isn't built through intensity. It's built through consistency. Small actions. Repeated daily. Without applause. That rhythm creates momentum. Momentum creates identity. And identity creates direction. When direction replaces motivation. Aaron stopped chasing motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Direction is stable. He no longer asked, "What do I feel like doing today?" He asked, "What kind of man am I becoming?" That question simplified decisions. And simplicity reduced anxiety. The final realization. Aaron once believed clarity would come first, then action. He learned the opposite. Action creates clarity. Discipline reveals purpose. And meaning is not found. It is constructed. Closing reflection. Most men are not broken. They are disconnected from challenge, responsibility, and self-trust. When a man rebuilds those pillars, direction returns. Not loudly. Not suddenly. But quietly, and permanently. And once direction is found, confidence no longer needs to be forced. It becomes a byproduct of alignment.